So this was his GBB 21 elimination that he re-recorded for YouTube on his channel.
This is Rythmind, right?
Yep.
Okay. Wow, nice. That's super clever, using beat repeat.
Also the Mark II he's on.
Yeah. Nice.
He got one because he was a judge
Oh, yeah.
kickback battle.
Yeah, hard to judge if you've never used the instrument. That's super cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Rythmind, and don't forget, I'm just human. Human! Oh, human! Oh, human! Oh, but I become like a monster.
I don't know. Oh my god. This is nutty. Little metal, right? Okay. Singing's not bad.
Rythmind's singing has become a lot better in recent years.
I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like that has partly to do with being in Berrywam.
You have to explain that to me when that's over. I don't know what Barry Wom is.
And clap.
Oh, Bear. American Jack.
But I become like a monster.
Oh my god. The audio design live. That's crazy.
But I become like a monster.
I love the chords.
Yeah. The fact that there's also ear
So
candies is insane to me. These little nuggets that don't necessarily repeat through the whole thing. That's inhale, yeah? I think so. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just an inward vocal fry,
Yeah.
really
Really bright
Tight.
vowel. Yeah. All right. Shout out to the man Spotify. Let's go. Rythmind. All right. Giving a little inhale roar there. I can actually talk about some of this. His singing has definitely gotten better, and the priorities for beatboxers are different. He goes into this like quasi opera thing that I want to talk about.
Human.
Yeah.
Oh, human.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Okay, so what the arrow's pointing right there is a ligament. usually the shorthand for it is just called false folds. Probably people have heard that term. It's pretty straightforward. In opera, you want those things retracted. You don't want them put together. It causes a lot of strain. Now, there are a couple of reasons why Rythmind has that coming together. It could be too much air, it could be just a matter of vowels, but that's going to be the difference. I'm not saying that it matters. It sounds fine in context, right? But this is one of those things where the people are going to be like, oh, opera. It's not quite, but it's nice. And it's a great thing to throw in. With this, those are the true folds, right? They're not the false folds. And so the difference between these two sounds is pretty dramatic, actually. Ha, ha, kind of like what he was doing there. I don't really do that much. The way that you would want to sing opera, ideally, would be ha, right? You're able to kind of retract those. But this comes back in a different way, though, which is the inward vocal fry that he does, which, if you add the false folds, gives a lot more beef to it, right? Now, there are examples of really fine singing. And again, the priority between classical singing and opera are like, and beatboxing, it's remarkably different. And actually, you know what? We can discuss this with another example. This is another example of some things that are designed to sound operatic, but aren't. Which again is okay. Like it serves the purpose better to do it this way than to sing in a way that projects over an orchestra, and we'll talk about the difference. So there is a darkening that's happening that you generally don't get with opera. So the tongue is a little bit more narrow. This, by the way, and this is important, this sounds better on a microphone. Because like this is what opera sounds like on a mic, for instance. And I'll also put it on the spectrogram so you can see the difference. Let's see. The classic I haven't warmed up yet excuse. Bang. Bella figlia dell'amore. What? Where'd you go? Bella figlia dell'amore. And the reason why that sounds so different is because hold on, where's my hand? Right there, that frequency is around 2,000 to 3,000 hertz. And an opera singer really wants to highlight that frequency. Because that's what projects over an orchestra. It's also called the singer's formant, or squealo if you're pretentious. It causes that sound to highlight that frequency is the aryepiglottic folds, also known as the aryepiglottic sphincter. Because actually the vocal folds are also a sphincter. The contraction of that highlights those frequencies. Also, it raises the larynx a little bit. See how it's like a vertical muscle when they contract? This happens. And so the larynx goes up. So you don't actually want this when you're recording opera for not opera. Like, if you're not actually singing with the orchestra, you don't want to do this. And so that's the difference there. So instead, it looks like this. Contraction of the AS. Bella... Come on, Google. Bella figlia dell'amore. Without. Quavo son di questi tuoi, come un deton sol tuba. With the contraction. Come un deton sol tuba. Let me up and right, loud. It's loud. And there are a couple of other things as well that add to this. And this is an interesting. This is about human perception of hearing. So we're gonna go even deeper into this rabbit hole. So this is a graphic EQ. All right, and we're doing this so we can take a quick look at this. When you bump up 200 hertz, what ends up happening is that the highs become less crisp. So when I use the AES, I'm raising my larynx slightly, so that means these frequencies are not as prominent, which allows for those higher frequencies to become more prominent. So again, that's another thing you don't want, right? If you want to sound rich and lush and not obnoxious on a microphone, you want a different technique entirely. And so that's why he's kind of doing it differently. And that's why Rythmind also doesn't want to do what opera does. This technique is closer to a genre called popra, right? Bocelli is kind of on top of that thing. It's a different style. It needs different technique than operatic technique. I think people go and say that, oh my God, opera, how exciting. And what they don't realize is that the reason why people hold opera in such high esteem is because of its skill floor. The entry level to sing opera is very, very hard. It's very high. But that doesn't mean other art forms can't be just as exceptional, right? So this is a totally different technique than opera singing, which is fine. That's cool, that's swell, even, perhaps. So anyway. Thank you so much for getting this far. If you like and subscribe, the algorithm may show you the live streams in which I do these reactions live. Usually every Thursday, but we're going to add a couple more. So like, subscribe, pay attention. Maybe my father will love me, but probably not.